And there's a storm coming, which is probably going to drop more snow down here than up there, but it's still going to drop some more snow. So I'm hoping that we get something accomplished down here, that we'll be able to get out of here on Tuesday when we want to take off. I think we're in anticipation of this storm coming, we're probably going to move our trucks down to the bottom of the hill, and that'll be a pain when it comes time to pack and getting out of here. But at least we won't take a chance on sliding off of our driveway and hitting a tree. So we'll get them down there. Hopefully the roads will be plowed and we can get out of here. The guys just went on top of the hill to do a little hunting this afternoon. But that's just what's going on right now. We'll see what they come up with this evening, if they bring anything back with them.
If it's accurate, I shoot the light off the barn.
How about that gray box on that pole right there?
So they came up empty that evening, and John is going to have to leave, so he needs to empty his gun.
Maybe if it goes off.
Don't come back!
Let that be a lesson to you.
Okay, it's Sunday, second afternoon of muzzleloader. This morning it was about 9 degrees, 8 degrees. Temperatures were in the single digits. Let's just say none of us was having it. So we all stayed in this morning. John opted to leave a little bit early because there is a winter storm coming in. Actually, it's supposed to start snowing here in a little bit. I'm going to hunt the evening, and I think when I'm heading out is when the snow is going to be starting. It's supposed to snow 5 to 8 inches right now. We're kind of in the heart of the winter storm. That's Winter Storm Blair is the name of it. That's going to start snowing this evening, and then it's going to keep on snowing until tomorrow, 7 p.m. tomorrow, which is Monday. So I'm not sure what type of hunting we're going to be doing tomorrow. I'm not sure if we'll be able to get up to Widowmaker with the UTV or not. We're going to play all that by ear. Don is going to hunt where I saw those 2 deer running yesterday, and just to see what he can see on that hillside.
As I was hunting up there, I noticed to my 10 o'clock looking out the front window of the blind that I saw a little piece of orange, and at first I thought it was another hunter, and then I put 2 and 2 together, and that is the ladder stand that we put up back in the fall off on another portion adjacent to our property. And you can see Don sitting there, and this is going to be something to consider next year, because if there was a deer standing right there where the flat area of the snow is, that would be a dangerous shot if someone were sitting in that ladder stand. I actually texted him to confirm that that was him sitting up there. And it is a pretty long ways off. I'm zooming in pretty good with my camera to see that. A lot of times I do a quick scan with the binoculars, but I don't know if I would have picked it up at the right moment or not.
It's about 3 o'clock now, so there's about 2.5 more hours to hunt this evening. Hopefully we'll see something. I got my camera if a large buck should come by, because I can't shoot a buck, so I could at least shoot it with my camera. John sat here yesterday evening and they didn't see anything. There's a lot of deer tracks though in the snow, and the snow is not that old, so they're pretty fresh tracks. So there's a lot of traffic going through here. Odds are it's going through when it's not during hunting hours. Oh, and I brought a lot of stuff down with me. I don't know if you're familiar with this thing in our area called OLA, and it's online auctions. And basically what it is, it's a bunch of, a lot of it's junk, but it's a bunch of stuff that is returns from Amazon, and instead of returning all the way back to Amazon and then back to the manufacturer, a lot of that stuff just goes to this OLA. A lot of it is like new or open box, sometimes a completely sealed box, never used type of thing. And the reason I'm talking about this is because I ordered a lot of hunting stuff for next year. I ordered another seat for the next blind that we have to still build. We still have materials for that blind in the shed right now. I have to come up with some smart siding or something for the next one. I've been watching Facebook Marketplace and nothing's really been coming up. But we have the roof, the floor, and all the studs cut out for it. But I just need the sheeting, and I really don't want to pay full price right now for sheeting. So back to OLA, I purchased a chair for that blind, and then I purchased a couple other blinds that I got for a pretty decent price, under $30, both of them. One was a little deceiving though. There was a blind like we used to have that looked like it was an open box, was not used or anything. All the parts and materials are there with it. We set it up, tested it out, made it look like we're going to have a sleepover in the house.
Different must be on the inside.
It is. So that's just the door, no screen?
Yeah. Yeah. And what do you mean on the side?
Yeah.
Yeah, no screen unless it's on the inside somehow. There's nothing hanging above or below the window, Don?
Nope. Maybe that's what that little screen thing is. You got those little tie downs here over here.
Oh, that's probably it. What's that thing that I gave you? You might be able to see through that like a screen.
Yeah.
But then I bought another blind that was a little deceiving. It did not look at all like what the picture was. So maybe shame on me for not paying more attention to it, but I thought it was a large rectangular blind that's got the see-through walls on it. It sounded like in the description it came with a chair, but it's actually a chair that has a built-in blind around it.
All right, Tom's in the little blind. Trees. Oh, there he goes. He's turning around. I guess that's how you turn around to see what's behind you, huh? All right.
Go out there.
Shoot back there, yeah. Can you see through the whole thing? Out? See out? The whole way? You know, with everything zipped up, can you see out?
You can still see out, yeah.
Okay, because you can't tell you're in there. So it's good that you can see out
I would say it's like
clear,
yeah.
but the deer can't see you. Like, move your arms around in there. Yeah, see? You can't see that you're moving around in there.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like a regular blind.
Yeah, it's just more portable, I guess.
Yeah,
Still
something, you know, during the gun season. Not very warm out there today to sit in it.
No, but if it's raining, I guess.
Well, yeah, you got to check that out, see if it's waterproof. Let's get a bucket of water and pour on you.
So the pictures were deceiving because it looks nothing like the pictures. I think they just put the wrong pictures on there. If you clicked on the link to go to the actual product, same thing, it didn't go to the product that I got. And that's sometimes the price you pay when you do this OLA stuff. I've gotten some other stuff for the RV and periodically some solar type stuff for solar panels and things along those lines. And it picked up some odds and ends. So we just have a few extra blinds in case next year we'll have this one. Hopefully we'll have another wooden one. And then if it's a rainy gun season, we still have 2 or 3 more that we could set up that are just basically pop-up type blinds. There should be no excuses for nobody going out during the rain. So.
Deer-wise, my evening was pretty uneventful, but one more day. All right, this is going to be our last day hunting here. I'm not sure if Don's going to go out. It's snowing pretty good. I'm going to pull the UTV out, see if I can make it up the Widowmaker. If not, it could be a short hunt this afternoon, so we'll see what happens. Took a quick peek just to check on our trucks down by the road. I got a comment a while back about us using our UTVs and ATVs to go up to the top of the hill to do our hunting. And they basically complain that we're scaring all the deer away once we're going up there. And believe me, I've thought of that for many, many, many years. And we do call it the Widowmaker for a reason. It's a pretty tough climb if you're not using a UTV. And we used to do it 25 years ago, and I used to put all my layers in a backpack. We'd walk up the hill. I'd be sweating like a pig. I'd slowly put on more clothes, and it seemed like, you know, I was always changing clothes and putting more layers on as I was hunting, which is also disruptive. Not to mention it took about 20-25 minutes to get up here, where this is about 5. Now going from point A to point B here, I'm sure we scared anything away that was in the path of our travels. But as we convene here on the top of our hill, we all take off in different directions, and none of them really involved the path that we used to get up here. So if anything, we've scared the deer into areas where we're going to be hunting. But this UTV is going to be 5 years old, and I'll probably do a video on the last 5 years of using it and what I think so far, and if there's some things I would change or some things that I would want. But I can tell you, when you have an expense like a UTV, you really hope that you get your use out of it. And I think one thing I can honestly say is that I've gotten my use out of it and very happy to have it available. No leaves to be shuffling around. It's a pretty quiet walk-in with the snow. Good opportunity to see something even before getting to the blind. All right, so this hunting blind has really increased the amount of time we can hunt up here when it comes to inclement weather. So a day like today, typically I would probably not be hunting, but knowing that all I got to do is get from point A to point B and then sit in a pretty fairly warm area that's out of the weather. I can make it warmer if I want to. I've got internet in here, pretty comforting, nice comfy chair to sit on. So the blinds worked out really good this year. Enjoyed using it, and really knowing that it's here makes it a lot simpler of a decision. Am I going to go out there and go hunting today or not? A lot better than sitting in the cold rain, getting your clothes all wet and putting those wet clothes back on the next day because they didn't fully dry out. But there's a few things that I think we need to work on, and maybe when we make the second hunting blind, we'll try to incorporate those things, and then next year work on changing some of the things in here. But a few things that bug me a little bit, and the guys have mentioned, is like there's a window here and there that this window might give yourself away because they're so large and wide open that deer can maybe see the movement between the two. That's really yet to be determined if that's true or not, but I would like to maybe make some sort of shade that you could pull down, and that shade be made out of a camo screening material, something you could still see through when you pull it down but they can't see in. And if you want to use it, you could use it. Or if maybe you just want to block one side of the windows so you're not creating an area that's easy for them to detect you, see you moving back and forth. So that's one thing. I think our window opening and closing system, I would rather lift the window up rather than bring the window down the way we have it now. If I have the heat on in here and we crack the window, you crack the window up here and most of your heat is going to go right out the top. But if the window's cracked down here, you can still capture some heat up top, be fairly warm. You're not going to lose as much heat if you open the window in that manner. So I think we'll look at that. We'll have to take out this little brace up here so the window could slide up. Thing is the floor. We should probably put something down on the floor that's going to absorb the snow and the wetness when you're in here, so it's not being absorbed into the OSB flooring. Also, it makes a little bit of a noise when you sit on this chair. Creaks back and forth, not terribly, but I'm not sure what it sounds like out there, but it sounds pretty loud in here. Also, when you have snow piled up on your shoes and that snow is kind of like compressing on the floor, and maybe turns to ice. Every time that little chunks you step on them makes a loud crackling sound. So I think having a little bit of a rubber mat on the floor will work out good. Maybe a couple shelves in like the corners. If you want to set some stuff on a shelf, that would be nice to have a few shelves in here. A few more hooks. I just have a couple nails right now up on the corners if you want to hang up your gloves, your binoculars, a camera, stuff like that. But all in all, it's been pretty good. We're going to have to weatherize it a little bit more come spring, and then maybe we'll put a little bit of a stain on the outside or spray it a little bit. The guys have mentioned painting the inside here black, this interior black. Not sure if that's absolutely necessary. I think if you got those screens, that would help out a bit. But other than that, things have worked out pretty good. You do get frosty windows though when you turn that heat on. Again, I only turn it on for about 10 minutes and then have it off for maybe an hour. Usually clears up shortly after that, but the steamy windows I just carried like a little rag. Okay, so when Don was hunting yesterday and I saw him in that stand, he ended up seeing 2 deer that evening. He saw a mother deer and a button buck hanging out together. And he was tempted to shoot it, and in fact he had plenty of opportunity if he wanted to shoot the mama deer, but he didn't feel like separating the two. So this little spike here is pretty much off limits for me because I got a buck earlier. Ohio is basically a 1 buck state per year. And I'm trying to eye up the other deer to see just how big they are, and it's kind of hard for me to judge. I see the fuzzy fur on there, which tells me that they're pretty young. I don't know if they're the same deer that Don saw yesterday, but I'm probably going to overthink this. Well, I let them pass just because they seemed a little bit small to me. I might have been wrong, but just from the little I could see, I thought they were too young at this time. I could make out a couple others that were pretty far off in the distance, but no good opportunities. If I really wanted to take those 2 young ones, I probably could have had no problem getting them. But that'll be it for this year's hunting season for me anyways. I don't anticipate going out anymore. I don't anticipate bow hunting after this week. We'll be taking off tomorrow morning as long as the roads have been cleared. And I probably won't be back here probably for a month and a half at that. So I'm going to go get the UTV and then bring that down to the blind, take everything out of it, pack it up, and bring it back down to the house. Alright, next week we'll be back in Northern Ohio, dealing with winter up there. But that's going to do it for today. I appreciate everybody watching. Hope you enjoy and subscribe to these videos. Click on that little bell when you want to know a new one's coming out, and keep an eye on us. Take care, everybody.